Hey, fourth graders. Today we're going to be still focusing on the Midwest region, talking about geography. So I want you to follow along with Mrs. Hagen as she reads. I'm going to zoom in a little bit here, okay? We're going to talk about the plains and plateaus, which I think we actually talked about earlier this year in the social studies book. Okay, so we're going to start right here. Plains and plateaus. All right, you can get your highlighter out if you want. All right, it says the Great Plains stretch from Kansas to Missouri to North Dakota. It is an area with dry land that does not experience a lot of rainfall. The northern part is hillier. The area is dry and is not suited for farming. Remember how we talked about certain areas in the Midwest are good for farming, okay? Some are not. Hence, this part of the Great Plains is also referred to as the Badlands. Hopefully you're highlighting along with Mrs. Hagen. If you do not have a highlighter, you can use a yellow marker. Okay, so the Badlands, that's going to be, I think, on our next page. We're going to need to find where that is, okay? Another important area is called the Central Lowlands. They're located to the east of the Great Plains and is a flat and wet area. The land of the lowlands is extremely fertile. That means it's good for farming. Making it an ideal place for farming. The farmers in this region mainly grow corn and wheat. Okay, keep staying with me. The Midwest has two plateaus. All right. One is called the Appalachian Plateau in eastern Iowa, and the Ozark Plateau in southern Missouri, Kansas, and Illinois. Plateaus are a landform similar to a plain, but they are located at higher elevations and are usually surrounded by steep slopes. That's the plateau. Now we're going to talk about valleys. There are three main valleys in the Midwest. A valley is a part between two mountains that goes down in between. These are the Ohio, Missouri, and Mississippi valleys. A valley is a low area between mountains. So if you see two mountains and that area that's in between that's lower is a valley. They are formed over a long period of time from water or ice erosion. Most valleys slope down toward a river. Okay, those are our valleys. So far we've learned about plateaus and valleys. We're going to go back up to the top here. We've got a little map. And that map, by the way, is going to help us. I want you to look back at that when you're doing your questions, okay? Because they're going to list some of the important areas that we're reading about, like the Badlands, right? And the Great Plains. You're going to need to know where those places are. The Central Lowlands, maybe you can highlight those, okay? The Mississippi River, right here. The Missouri River. They're going to have you locate things on the next page. And then we've got the Great Lakes up here, Superior, Michigan, and Huron, and Erie. And then we've got the Ohio River. So you're going to need to locate some of those. So you're going to need to refer back to that map. Let's talk about lakes and rivers because we have a lot of Great Lakes, don't we? The Great Lakes are an important feature of the Midwest region. We just highlighted some up above. So the Great Lakes consist of Erie, Superior, Huron, Michigan, and Ontario. You've probably seen those lakes. So right up here in our map, you can see them. These lakes border means they're next to, these lakes border Ohio, Michigan, Indiana, Illinois, and Wisconsin. Lake Superior is the biggest freshwater lake. The Great Lakes are very important for the Midwest region. They are used as a transportation hub and also serve as a tourist attraction. People go there to visit and to vacation. Many tourists visit these lakes to swim, fish, boat, and enjoy the scenic surroundings. Okay, we're on our last paragraph. The Mississippi, the The Ohio and the Missouri are the main rivers. That's important. Highlight those are the main rivers because they're going to ask us some questions on the next page. The Mississippi River runs from Minnesota all the way to the Gulf of Mexico. Okay, the Ohio River, let's highlight those two, forms the southern borders of Ohio, Indiana, and Illinois. The Missouri River is the longest river in the United States. It stretches across the Midwest into the West region. So you could ask your parents, what is the longest river in the United States, and see if they get that right. All right, so we have done our highlighting, okay? Now we're going to go to the next page, which is going to be your homework for today. Okay, so we are going to complete the true or false section at the top. Okay, right here. True or false. So you're going to put either a T or an F in the parentheses. So you might need to look back at the page that we just read, okay? And decide if it's true or false. And then down on the bottom section, it says locate the geographic feature. So that's where you're going to go back and look at that map and figure out where the Badlands are. That's our first one right here. And you need to say which number is the Badlands. Okay, so I'm going to look, and I can look back at my map, okay, and I can see that it was in North and South Dakota, and I see right here is the Badlands. So then I would put a number 7, okay, but you're going to need to look back at that other map to help you, okay? And you should use all of the numbers when you're done. And then just make sure I get a picture of this for when you send your homework. Thanks, guys.